How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. Over on total for the daily, it does look like we are retesting that support level, getting a long upper shadow candle, so this is very indecisive, which shows bulls try to push us forward, and the bears are stepping in. If followed by a strong red candle, we could break the support and then continue down to the 674 if we're not careful. Our VWAP is starting to round away, momentum is starting to pull back, money flow is in the red, stochastic is pulling back, and RSI is weakening. So overall, the daily is not too positive. We tried to get that bullish push on the daily on Bitcoin, and that kind of just went nowhere. So over on total, we did kind of consolidate a little bit. This consolidation was after a little bit of a push down, so it would be expected to see another push down, possibly creating a mini bear flag to test this support level. That VWAP does want to push forward, momentum is starting to gain strength, and our money flow is in the red. But if that VWAP can get a higher high, followed by a bounce off that neutral or a higher low, then we could still gain some bullish momentum and pick up and push to that 780 billion. That would be positive, as that would give us a new high. But then again, we are hitting this range back here, and that could create a bigger bull flag, which would be positive because bull flags do push you forward, and that could push us toward that next Fibonacci level. So if we lose the zone tomorrow, then we're going to be more on the bearish side. If we gain some strength tomorrow, then it looks like we could push up. And futures does look pretty similar, with our MPP projecting an 80% push to the 77.6K, but 77.6K, but that could be a higher low, which if followed by a higher high, could put us on that way to that 103K. Our stochastic does want to push up. VWAP is gaining strength. Momentum has bullish divergence and the money flow is pulling back. But if that VWAP can maintain bullishly on lower time frames, we could continue forward here. Over on the 1 hour, there's really no gaps to speak of. So this week was pretty positive. And the kind of to mention that we did not create gaps the last couple weeks. We created gaps, which kind of dropped us away. So this does look a little more favorable in that aspect. Our VWAP is favoring bearish still, bringing momentum down and causing money flow to sell off. So watch that VWAP very close. If it does not get back above this neutral in the next push toward the upside, which would be the current push now, then I would say over the next few hours, we could solidify some bearish movement and push lower. But again, I would watch for that 776. We could see that push down to the 776 and then hopefully get that bounce to fill that daily scenario. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we will cover how this rising channel kind of broke away from our flag. If you're in our Discord, we did mention that. Our stochastic is starting to round away with our orange crossing blue, so that will bring RSI lower if we do not see some bullish momentum soon. VWAP is starting to push down, so watch that momentum. The momentum just broke bullishly, and if VWAP continues to push down, momentum will start to round away, leaving that money flow in the red, potentially giving us strong red candles. So if we look at the 1 hour, we did create a rising channel when we got our breakout. We did get about, I'd say about a third of our breakout, maybe about a quarter, and then we saw that rejection. So ideally, you would wait for a confirmation, and we did not get a true confirmation here. We got our breakaway, a retest, and an attempt to make a bounce, but that's why you wait for that second green candle, because if you would have waited for this candle to close, it would have signaled that was a long upper shadow, bearish engulfing candle, two bad signs there that could bring us down within a bearish pattern. So that could have told you that we could end up invalidating, at which point if we broke this support line, we would continue lower, and that's what we said kind of happened on that Discord. That VWAP is favoring bearish, so with that VWAP breaking down while price is trying to get up, it was important for that VWAP to cross and hold bullish, but that was not the case, bringing momentum lower, and if this does not reverse, money flow will stay in the red, weakening higher time frames and continuing that drop down. So maybe we see that 776 tomorrow, and then maybe we make a bounce up if we see a very quick drop, because remember, a quick drop is always going to be retraced, usually at least 90% of the time. All right, here we have some kind of consolidation after these drops, so it is a quick drop, but we did meet support along the way. Usually when you just see a dump like this, usually that is corrected. So that being said, there is some potential for us to get a decent run up once we gain some bullish momentum here. Our stochastic is starting to push down on graph for the daily. RSI is pretty flat. VWAP is testing the neutral, so watch that VWAP. If it breaks that neutral, momentum will round, money flow will remain in the red, and we would continue lower. Over on the 1 hour here, we are testing that support level, getting lower highs and lower lows. So those lows are pretty flat, and those highs, I'd say about equally flat. So you may have a little mini bear flag here, which if we do make a bounce here, we could invalidate it and push higher. The invalidation would be the positive move, but if we do not see a push forward from here, it's likely this flag could end up breaking us down somewhere around the 75.5. Our stochastic is trying to make a bounce, so that's positive. VWAP is making a bounce. Momentum is pushing forward with the green dot, and our money flow is red. But if that VWAP can get a higher high and then favor bullishly from there, momentum will gain strength, money flow will push up, and higher time frames could follow. So over on XRP for the daily, remember drop any requests in chat as will be done after Anchor since that was a new addition. We are starting to struggle here as well. Our stochastic is pulling back, RSI is flat, VWAP is starting to pull back, momentum is rounding, attempting to break that neutral, but if it rejects here, I would watch for that money flow to remain in the red and for us to see some strong red candles. Now, over on the 1 hour, we did get a big God candle back here, so we could see some sort of retracement. Just keep that in mind. That may be a very good area to buy right around this $1.90. Our RSI is trying to bounce, so stochastic wants to push forward. VWAP is gaining strength, but that momentum is favoring bearish, so that VWAP needs to cross that neutral and stay above the neutral. Otherwise, if we see this VWAP round here, it will favor bearishly, bringing momentum and money flow lower, weakening higher time frames, and causing that push down. So I would watch is so our higher probability where I said everything's all cracked out is looking like less of a probability with us struggling to break forward from this candle back here. So over on Anchor for the daily, our MPP is suggesting we could break our Fibonacci levels, which would mean a new low. So I would exercise caution. Stochastic is starting to pull back, RSI is weakening, VWAP is pushing down, causing momentum to round, and that money flow is remaining in the red, which will not change if that VWAP ends up breaking through. Over on the 1 hour here, we kind of see the similar price action where things are kind of consolidating downward. Now this could create a descending channel, and remember a descending channel would be bullish overall because that would help push us forward. So we have 2 touches to the bottom, 3 to the top. So the next approach to the top would need to break out in order for us to get that bullish break, which would be a little bit of a decent push for us. That'd be a push right around that $1760. Can't get the word out. But our stochastic is pushing up. That is positive. If that can remain bullish, it would bring RSI and price higher. VWAP is trying to break that neutral. So watch for our VWAP to break the neutral. If it can break and hold, momentum will push up, money flow will gain strength, and we can continue forward. But if that VWAP ends up rejecting here, then we're going to see that Fibonacci zone get tested at the bottom here, right around that 1380. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Hit the like and subscribe and join us in that Discord.